Hey everybody, it's that time of the week again. Let's talk about episode 7 of Shadowhunters, Major Arcana. The episode starts off with Clary telling Jace and Magnus that she knows where the Mortal Cup is. It is in Dot's tarot deck. And then Luke tells her that it is in his desk at the precinct, and now they have to figure out how to get them out of his desk without drawing the attention of any downworlders that might be in the precinct. Let's talk about Clary and Jace in this episode. A lot went down with them, and there were a lot of good scenes, a couple of questionable ones, but it was mostly good. First off, Clary, I don't know what's going on in your head, but ghosting Simon's calls is not cool, especially when he really needs you. It's really not a cool thing to do to your supposed best friend anyways. Now back to Clary and Jace. In this episode, they are both trying to get into the precinct and get those tarot cards back, and they even go so far as to charade as a fighting couple to try and get them back. It does not work. It fails epically, and it is really funny because Clary even slaps Jace in the face. Something else that I found very intriguing in this episode was when Jace applies this new rune, a Nyx rune, onto Clary's shoulder blade, and it provides night vision. It's pretty cool, and I don't know if I remember a Nyx rune in the books, but I thought it was pretty awesome. The next thing that happens with them, after a ton of stuff goes down, they get the tarot cards back, Clary gets attacked by a demon, and somewhere in the middle of all this, Jace and Clary get separated, and a really awesome scene happens. A really awesome scene. Clary gets attacked by a bunch of demons. She figures out how to finally pull the cup out of the card, and she basically makes the demons run away. And then she's confronted with Jace, and she starts to tell him about the cup, and then we figure out that's not Jace, that's the demon. And Clary stabs it, kills it, and it is all kinds of wonderful. Next, we finally find Jace. He is back at the Institute, trying to put together a search party for Clary because he's freaking out because they got separated at some point. So Clary goes up to him, tells him about the cup, and after a little back and forth between them, Clary lays one on him. Yes, she kisses him in front of everyone at the Institute. I have a couple of things about this. I'm gonna go ahead and say this now. Number one, yes, it was a good kiss, and no, there was no loud music like in the movie when they had their first kiss. But the other thing is, it happened in front of everyone, and I just don't, it's kind of not believable. I just thought that was a little bit of an odd decision to have them have their first kiss in front of everyone in the Institute. I guess it was maybe so we could see Alec and Isabel's reaction, but I still just think that it should have been a little more intimate and special. Now, on to Izzy and Alec. We see them a little bit of the episode, not so much as Clary and Jace and Simon, but their scenes are pretty amazing, and I love watching the Lightwood siblings together. When we first see Izzy, we see her cleaning out her wardrobe, and I'm still a little unsure about the direction they are going with her, but I'm gonna just chill and try and be okay with it for now, because we know she's not gonna last the way she's being. It's not gonna last. It's not true Izzy. So after that, we see her approaching Alec after he's gotten back from staying at Magnus's all night, and he clarifies to her that he was helping take care of Luke all night. But he does admit that they had cocktails. So it's really cute, and I just love all the scenes between Alec and Izzy. They're great, and the actors play off each other really well. The next thing we see with them is them arriving at the precinct and trying to help Clary and Jace and Luke with what's going down. And when they go inside, Izzy makes Alec be the distraction for once. And so he goes to flirt with a lady cop while messing up her desk, spilling things, and he kind of flings her key card off into the air, and Izzy catches it. He proceeds to use the key card to get into a restricted area, and then uses a rune to put the power out for a bit. So now let's talk about Luke in this episode. He gets his badge taken away. He's being interrogated about a bunch of dead bodies that a guy from Internal Affairs thinks that he has something to do with, and he can't get to any of his stuff. So this is why everyone is trying to get those tarot cards for him because he cannot get them. He is locked up. But when everyone at the precinct figures out who this guy is, they let Luke go, and then they find Detective Vargas's body because apparently a demon has been masquerading as her for a bit, and it's not good. It's not good. Yeah, no. We then see Luke giving one of his wolves an order, and it's all types of awesome because Luke is now an alpha, what he was always meant to be, and yes. So apparently at some point, Luke met up with Alec, and in the last scene with Luke in this episode, he goes and finds Clary and has to prove to her that he's not a demon in order to get her to stand down. All right, so now it's time to talk about Simon. I know y'all were wondering when I was gonna bring him up. Well, I saved the best for last because honestly, I think his scenes were the best. Let's go through everything that went down with Simon in this episode. When we first see Simon, he has apparently slept with Maureen and even hallucinates her as Clary. And then Maureen reports this to his sister, kind of. I don't know what all she said to his sister, but it must have been pretty bad because his mother and his sister come and question him and ask him if he's on drugs. Another thing that happens with Simon in this episode, we see him at Java Jones researching vampires. He has no idea what's going on at this point. And he calls Clary for her help. She ignores his first call. The second call, she answers, but Jace hangs up on him. And the next call, he has to leave a message. He is crying and freaking out. He tells her that he thinks he's becoming a vampire. And when he started crying, I'm gonna be honest, I started tearing up a bit myself. So when his mother and sister were questioning him about what's going on with him, he breaks his desk because they're going back and forth, and it's driving him nuts. And all of this energy and strength just builds up, and he basically Hulk smashed his desk. It was pretty awesome. His mother and sister were freaking out. It was great. I loved it. After that, in his teary-eyed call to Clary, we see him hallucinate Camille again, hallucinate himself with fangs in his mouth. And then we see his mother and sister come in the room a little later, and his room is completely trashed. It's bad. And then the scene happens that had me freaked out, excited, everything all rolled into one. He breaks into the Hotel du Moor, finds Camille. She tells him that he was gonna be okay and be human and everything, but basically, since he arrived into the hotel, he's done for. And then she attacks him. And we know where this is going. We all know where this is going. I am so excited for this, you guys. I feel bad for what happens to Simon, but I'm just so excited for all of the vampire Simon scenes to come because those are some of my favorite things in the books. And I just, yes, yes. As far as quotes go in this episode, there's only one real quote that stood out so much to me and made me crack up laughing. It's when Clary is trying to take the glamour off of her, and she tells Jace, I can de-glamorize myself. I'm sorry. You guys, it was great. I loved that. It was really entertaining. All in all, I thought this was an incredible episode, and I cannot wait for next week's episode when we get Vampire Simon. It is going to be... I have no words. I'm excited. I am so excited. I hope y'all enjoyed this recap and review. Continue to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye, guys.